Hello, my name is Miriam Sosa Martinez, and today we're going to be talking about the Vastus Intermedius. So the origin will be at the upper 2/3 of the anterior surface of the femur, and the insertion will be at the upper border of the patella, as well as the patellar tendon of the tibial tuberosity. The action for this muscle will be knee extension, primarily when the hip is flexed or is being flexed. And down here is a reminder of what hip flexion looks like. So they're saying in this position, primarily, this muscle is used for knee extension. Daily usage. We're using this muscle in most things, from walking to jumping, to walking upstairs, from getting up from a seated position, running, skipping, practically whenever we are going into an extended knee from that flexed hip position. In other words, when straightening a bent knee. Strengthening. A progression for lunges would be using dumbbells. So dumbbell lunges, we would stand with the dumbbells held to the side. We're going to start off with the right leg and lunge forward, making sure to land with the calcaneus, aka the heel. We're going to lower the body by flexing the knee and the hip of that right leg until the left leg is almost in contact with the floor, as it is as well being flexed. From here, we're going to push off our calcaneus by extending the hip and the knee of the right leg. And this will allow us to return to starting position and then alternate legs. A regression for this would be using body weight, as we see here. And I just wanted to emphasize, when he lands, is calcaneus first. And then when he pushes off, actually the calcaneus is the last thing that comes off. Since he's driving the calcaneus in to be able to push off, he's doing a dorsiflexion with his toes to be able to return to the standing position right there. Incline leg press. A progression for this would be using the leg press machine. So for this, we would position our spine against the backrest with our knees starting off in the starting off position, which is eccentrically extending our knees and our feet slightly apart on this flat end here. We then would release the safety bars that are usually located on the side here. And then we will concentrically flex the knee to bend the legs medially towards the torso while inhaling at this portion. Then to return to initial position, we will eccentrically extend the knee while exhaling. So this push off moment here. What I found interesting is the placement of our foot on this flat end here can help and emphasize which muscle we are working on. So since the vastus intermedius muscle is one of the quadriceps, we want to use the feet standard here, which emphasizes the quadriceps as a whole. So we would have our feet slightly apart and relatively at the center of this flat end here. A regression for this would be using lighter weight or using a resistance band, as we see here. So for this, we would lie supine, and then we will start off at the same position. We will have our knees eccentrically extended and our feet slightly apart with the resistance band wrapped around them, as we see here. And then we will concentrically flex the knee to bend the legs medially towards the torso while inhaling at this portion. Then to return to initial position, we will eccentrically extend the knee while exhaling. And we can see the two different resistance bands here. This one seems like a shorter one, so she's holding it at mid-torso here. And the only thing I see here is it's not flat, her feet here. So I would like to make it more flat as possible, as this resembling the machine that's possible. And this one is longer, so he actually has it around and is just assisting it here. And as I said, we want to try to put our feet slightly apart to help emphasize those quad muscles. Stretching. This stretch is most commonly known as the flamingo. A progression for this will be standing shoulder width apart, as we see here, and we will concentrically flex the knee, and then we're going to grasp the ankle of the left knee and passively pull it towards our glutes. So this would be flexing the knee, therefore stretching these quad muscles here. To return to initial position, we would release the grasp and allow our knee to extend, returning us to standing position. A regression for this would be laying prone, and then we would use a resistance band. We will flex the knee using the resistance band around the ankle. We will pull the leg into knee flexion towards the glutes until the stretch is felt. Another regression would be standing using a stable object for balance. So here we're using a chair. And we would swing the leg posteriorly with a slight knee flexion. We want to keep the swing smooth and easy. When we are swinging backwards, that right here is where we have the slight knee flexion. We will increase the knee flexion until the stretch is felt, because when we do that knee flexion here, again, that's when these quad muscles are going to be stretched. Another stretch would be the knee pull stance. A progression would be standing with our shoulder feet width apart. We will flex the hip and the knee to bring the knee up. Then when we're up here, we will grasp the knee with both hands and we will eccentrically pull medially towards the chest. Then we will release the grasp and extend our hip and knee back to standing position. We will hold this stretch for about 15 to 20 seconds before returning to standing position. A regression for this would be lying supine with the hip and knee extended. So starting off position will be extended like this. And then we will flex the hip and the knee and grasp the knee again with both hands. And we will as well eccentrically pull the leg medially towards the chest. And then to return to starting position, we will release the grasp and extend the hip and the knee. Common injuries. I'm going to be looking at this as the quadriceps as a whole, which includes the rectus femoris, the vastus medialis, the vastus lateralis, and the vastus intermedius. So a common injury to the quadricep muscles will be muscle strains. This often occurs in sports such as soccer and football due to the sudden forceful eccentric contraction of the quadriceps during regulation of knee flexion and hip extension. Another common injury to the quadriceps will be contusions, and this would be due to the direct blow causing hematoma, which is swelling due to clotted blood. And if a contusion is left untreated, it can cause mycosis ossification, which is calcium deposits in the muscle or tissue, which is very painful. And here's a source for my muscle injuries. And that is it. Thank you.